What you are listening to now is the Central Indiana Sports Report podcast number 312.3. John Robertson's and Michelle Garmon's reaction to the Fever's Commissioner's Cup championship win over the Minnesota Lynx.
You're listening to the Central Indiana Sports Report with your host, Greg Mengelt.
Welcome, Fever fans, to the Central Indiana Sports Report and John Robertson's and Michelle Garmon's reaction to the Fever's 74-59 win over the Minnesota Lynx to win the Commissioner's Cup. And guys, balanced performance overcame kind of a sloppy offensive night with some really good defense. John, take it away.
Yeah, I'm really happy. I was excited, and I'm going to be honest with you. I was not thrilled the first quarter. I was kind of grumbling and muttering and yelling at the TV, but they turned it around and they played really well. A very balanced game, and just happy to see them get the cup. I think it's even more important that they got the cup with Caitlin sitting out because, like, with that, I don't always want to make everything about Caitlin Clark, and tonight we don't need to make it about Caitlin Clark, but, like, I'm glad they sat her, and I'm glad that they were able to prove to themselves they can beat one of the best teams in the league with her on the bench.
Win-win.
And, well, not only her, John, but just being shorthanded overall with Saban, with her being out, too. I mean, her being...
Dantas.
I don't know why. I think it's because they had... I always do that. I think, too, you get Sabo set, too, and I get all twisted. So, but Dantas, with her being gone, missing that, I think so. I think it's great for the Fever. And it looks like, I mean, tonight...
Here's the question. Do they give Dantas a portion of the money they won tonight? Do they give her some of it? Or do they give her a smaller portion? That's a good question, don't you think?
Well, if you give her a smaller portion, don't you have to give Caitlin Clark a smaller portion?
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, Caitlin was at least there. Caitlin doesn't need the money. Let's be honest. Caitlin doesn't need that money.
No, she doesn't need the money. But what I'm getting at with Dantas is, I mean, that what the WNBA has always done is they've always been lenient or worked with.
After a short technical difficulty.
Well, I'm going to guess, is this part of, like, is she gone because they have to, are they playing in a tournament that qualifies them, helps them get into the Olympics?
Yes, They're playing on the national tournament right now, and she's doing really well. She's playing really well. We can talk about that later if you want, but, like, she's doing a good job. I just wanted to make
situation for the long term.
Yeah, and I think, honestly, you bring up a really good point. I've said for the last couple of things, Damaris Dantas being gone is actually a bigger hit than most people probably realize for the Fever. I mean, it puts them shorthanded in the big position. But my goodness, did Natasha Howard come through tonight? I will be very honest. I was sitting there saying, like, she was playing terrible the first quarter. She missed a couple of layups, like multiple layups that she should have had. But did she ever make up for it in the third, second through fourth quarters? I mean, her defense was unbelievably good, and she scored so well after that. So shout out to Natasha. I'm sorry I didn't believe in you at the beginning of the game, but I believe in you so much now.
And Aaliyah Boston. She was great, and she was great against Collins, and fantastic.
So Boston and Nafisa Collier got into a little bit of a shouting match there in the fourth quarter.
Yes, they did.
Love it.
Which I know is competitive. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's bad for it's probably good for the game.
Love it.
I do. I like it. I think that's going to play into where Aaliyah gets drafted for the All-Star game.
Well, here's where I think, though. I think I like it because it's two highly competitive players, and they both had a little bit of a beef. I mean, Collier takes to the push off to the sternum, but that they were allowing that, and I don't have a problem with that. Then Boston was upset because when Collier came in to get her on the follow through, it hit her in the face. But you could tell, I mean, she wasn't going for her face.
I don't take any, like, stuff like that, I don't take too seriously. Like, when you're a competitive person and you're in the middle of a match and you're playing for a lot of money, and like,
exactly.
And on top of that, Boston is widely known that she takes her money seriously. Like, she is super fickle and like really cares about her money. So, you know, you're competitive, you're in the heat of the moment. I don't think they're going to have any like hatred towards each other moving forward. I think it's just in the moment, and which you want to see. You want to see them be like that.
Exactly.
How about Sophie for 13 points, second highest scorer on the Fever tonight. 3 for 5
plus 18.
Plus 18, 3 for 5 from 3. Really good night for Cunningham.
Everybody was kung fu fighting.
I thought she was huge for them to closing out that game. John, I mean, She hit that big 3. You know, before she hit the big 3, she made the great big baseline drive blew by Collier for the baseline drive layup, and then hit that big 3 that put him back up to a double-digit lead. And, you know, and then I thought that was huge. And then, of course, Mitchell had the dagger 3, followed by Lexi Hall having a nice 3, her second 3, just a few seconds later.
I think the biggest takeaway, other than like they were able to do it without Caitlin, which I think that they have I think they should take that as a confidence boost, right? Like, so maybe like the media and some of the fans are going to focus on Caitlin all the time, regardless. Like, that's just going to happen. But as a team, I think it was good for them, like ego and confidence.
Aari McDonald has been a find.
Absolutely. Yeah, I was getting ready to talk about her points. She had 12 points and only 1 assist tonight, but like she definitely was playing well and rebounding well.
5 for 6.
Yeah. She's great, and she honestly plays a lot. Like, I mean, obviously she's not taking the logo threes, but she plays the same tempo, and I've seen passes that are reminiscent of Caitlin. Like, they play the same style of point guard.
I thought Sydney Colson did some good things too at the point.
Yeah, Sydney was great on the fact that she had a lot of passes that led to points when we need them to stop momentum for the Lynx. Like, she didn't have a lot of points tonight. She only had 3 points, but like she had timely assists that really helped with momentum. I just wanted to point out like how balanced the attack was. So Howard was 16, Cunningham with 13, and then 12, 12, 12 each for Boston, Mitchell, and Aari.
Boston was close to triple-double, wasn't she?
She was 12 points, 11 rebounds, and 6 assists. So she needed 4 assists, but that's still an incredibly good stat line. And then Howard had 16, 12, and 4. So, I mean, that's a good stat line.
Yeah.
And really? Aaliyah was she was 5 for 15 from the field, but 5 offensive boards is a big deal.
Yeah. It was just a really balanced game once they got in their groove. I think they were tight early on. I think they were a little nervous and in their own heads, but then once they started playing well, it was just they took it and ran. Did you guys have the same feeling as I had, though? Like, I never felt like any lead was safe the way they've been playing lately. Up until about 3 minutes left in the game, I was like, well, okay, I'm starting to feel comfortable.
I thought it was safe, but then I thought back to what the Pacers did, in their playoff stretch, and I thought, ooh, maybe this isn't so safe yet. Then Mitchell hit the dagger 3, and that's when I felt the game was over.
Well, that's for sure, but I kept thinking the Lynx are playing so poorly. Their offense is going to have to completely flip a switch to get back in this game. I felt pretty comfortable almost the entire fourth quarter.
Yeah, I felt like, I don't know, I've seen too many fourth quarters in the last 4 or 5 games where we've had a 10-point lead and then lost it. So,
good point.
Like I said in the group text, it's kind of like the opposite of how I feel about the Pacers, right? Like the Pacers, I always felt like no matter how far they were down, they could make a run and come back. With this team, I kind of, as of right now, I'm nervous that no lead is safe if they're not careful. But they're looking like they're starting to put the killer instinct in.
Hey, John, talk about that 8-0 run that they had to close out the first half. That was huge.
Yeah, Casey even noticed, she's like, the Lynx didn't even score for most of the second quarter. That 8-minute run where they didn't score is literally 2 minutes. Well, they scored with 2 minutes into the second quarter, and that was the last time they scored. That's a long time to go with no points.
They did not look good offensively at all tonight. I
do think that like this game was not representative of how good the Lynx are. Like
Exactly.
it would be silly of us to say like, oh yeah, the Fever are obviously the best team now, because
No.
I think if you ran that game 10 times, the Lynx probably win it 6, if not 7 times. But
Exactly.
luckily it was the Fever's night, so let's be proud of them and celebrate.
The great thing about a single elimination tournament, right, John?
Absolutely. Anybody can win the one game they need. I'm really happy about it. I don't know how much sports fans in Indy, are going to be excited about a Commissioner's Cup, but I think symbolically it's a big deal, and I think for the players it's a big deal. So I'm really happy about it.
Well, it should be. I mean, when the Pacers made it to the final of their midseason tournament a year ago, I mean, everybody in Indy was excited. They should be excited that the Fever won the Commissioner's Cup, and they should be excited because they got a lot of these wins, or a few of these wins, without Caitlin Clark on the court. And, I just think this team, I think they're becoming a better team. And the one thing I do think it does do with the way they're developing and going and getting this depth on the perimeter is, I think Caitlin won't have to come back and be playing 35 to 37 minutes a game when she comes back. And like I said, I think anytime you're talking quads and groins, your best bet is to try to ease her back into it. I mean, you don't want her to play till she's like 100%, but if she's not, she's still not going to be, she's going to have sat out enough that she's not necessarily going to be in game shape. And
Well, I said multiple times in the last week that I didn't want her to play. I did not want her to play the Commissioner's Cup. I wanted her to stay out. So I was happy to see that they didn't. Also, and I stand on, I do think that it's better for the team as a whole. As much as I think Caitlin's the best player on the team and they need her and like she's the engine that makes it run, like learning to win without her is ultimately going to be good for them long term. It's going to make them better.
Well, and you wonder too how much sitting on the sidelines, how much of a help that's going to be to Caitlin when she comes back, because you can learn a lot. And she's somebody who does study. You can learn a lot just sitting on the sidelines and watching. And I think she's very involved in the game planning and what they want and in the coaching thing. And it can make her an even better player too when she comes back.
Maybe it'll help her with her mental game. We'll see what happens. Well,
guys, 5 straight games at home coming up. Vegas on Thursday the 3rd, the Sparks on Saturday the 5th, the Valkyries on Wednesday the 9th, the Dream on Friday the 11th, and then the Wings on Sunday the 13th. And then you go to Connecticut before a couple of games against the Liberty on the road, sandwiching the All-Star game. Guys, a chance to get some momentum at home.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they need to win against the Valkyrie for sure. I think they need to win that one just to prove something, because they lost in California.
If they could beat the Aces on Thursday, that would be huge too, because they've lost 15, 16 straight games to the Aces. And I think that's a team that, for them, I mean, if, they've been close and they let it. Heck, a couple summers ago, I was watching when the Aces came to town. Sorry, I got to go watch Grace, and I was there to see Candace Parker too when she was with the Aces, and Jackie Young. But, I mean, the Fever had a big lead in that game, and the Aces came back. And I know it's a different team, but that's just kind of what the Aces have done to the Fever. The Fever can get
same thing
up.
Last time
they
we
have
played.
Not been able to hold them off.
It's the same thing last time we played them. We had a 10-point lead last time we played the Aces. I think it was a week or two ago, and then we just gave it back in the fourth quarter. I don't know. I'd love to see them get the win. I don't like the Aces anyway. Which is sad because I love Las Vegas.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do. All right, guys. Game on Thursday. We will talk after the game. Between Saturday and Wednesday next week, there are no games. That's their next time they have a couple of days off. We will do a Fever report, and then we'll do a Fever report at the All-Star break as well. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate your time as always.
Congratulations again to the Indiana Fever, and once again, Susie, celebrate good time. Come on. Yahoo! I'm recording. I am. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Oh, hope you enjoyed that. Again, we'll be back on after every Fever game to discuss the outcome and results, and we will have a Fever report on a weekly basis going forward. Please join in. Please share this and help us continue to grow and thrive. We appreciate it. Central Indiana Sports Report is a product of ITG Media, and I love Suzu. Man, I hope the microphone picked up all of that.